Y'all already know how I do. No time to waste. Let's get it. Let's go. ICE responds to AOC bold threat after Dems STORM faculty. Let's go. It's already starting stupid. It's already starting stupid. Oh, let me fix the camera. Let me get a little prettier. A little further away, man. I don't know. How y'all like it? Y'all like it like this? Y'all like me on the side? Where y'all like me at? Well, we zoom in a little bit. I don't know. My good side. My good side. Anyways, let's go.
So from Massachusetts to this scene in New Jersey on Friday where immigration's hitting a flashpoint in Newark. This is body cam video showing 3 House Democrats confronting ICE agents outside a detention facility there. The DHS saying that arrests are still on the table after that chaos. The acting ICE director, Todd Lyons, here in studio to talk about this. And good morning to you. Got a lot of things we want to...
When this is all said and done, right? I do wonder what's going to look like the right side of history. Right? I do wonder. Because Trump just let in a bunch of white Africans because they're being discriminated against. A lot of people flee countries from persecution from government. And what I just figured out was under the whole refugee law, if you study what happened with those white Africans, it's nothing compared to what other people go through all over the world that Trump is saying can't get in, but they can get in. Now, the Dems are going to storm the Capitol. They're going to storm the ICE facilities, right? Not Capitol, I'm sorry. They're not January 6ers like some of y'all. But they're going to storm the White House, right? Now, damn it, goddamn it, I did it again. Like, I'm thinking of the January 6ers, man, because those are the crazy people. But no, I'm just playing. They're going to storm the ICE facilities, right? And in the process of storming the ICE facilities, what's the purpose, right? Is it to free people? Is it to figure out what's going on? I think it's to figure out what's going on. I don't know if it's to free people, but I just wonder, like, but are ICE correct within arresting some of these people? You know what I mean? Of course, both of these things are right, but my question goes into, like, who is going to be on the right side of history in all this? This is where the confusion lies in me. Like, who is telling us the truth? Are these people criminals and we need to remove every one of them from our country because they pose some kind of a threat economically or physically to us? Or are they no economic threat whatsoever? They're they're positive economically, right? Because I heard that immigrants, through paying for stuff and working, help fund the economy to a degree. So I'm back and forth on this. But in the ICE facilities, I'm all over the place with this. I really am, man. Because I don't really know what to think. I don't think the media on either side is telling us the truth. For some reason, I feel like there's something in this that we're all missing. But I could be wrong. You can tell me in the comment section, because I know y'all are weird like that. Y'all jump in the comment section. Oh, you're right. F you in advance.
Sort out here. Democrats claim they have congressional oversight, and they're on a visit for oversight, and they have the right to conduct that under federal law.
They do. They literally do. They literally do. I know that for a fact.
You say to them what, based on what we know now?
I say 100% they do. That is in their purview. They do have congressional oversight. What we ask for is for them to do it the right way. Notify us in advance. You know, don't make a scene. Don't put my office in jeopardy. Don't put the men and women who work.
So automatically, what he just said, it doesn't matter after this. Doesn't matter what he said after that. They have the right under federal law to go there and film. They have the right to go there and film. You can't stop them. So if you arrested them, even if you arrested them for any reason, that's unconstitutional. I don't care how y'all feel about it. It doesn't matter after that. He's talking about they have to be respectful. No, they don't. Under federal law, just like they deported 200 people with no respect, no due process, no anything like that. And that was against federal law. But under federal law, they can. Are you saying just because of your emotions towards it that they can't do that? No, that's bullshit.
Work there at Jeopardy, you know, the protesters were out there. Just do it the right way.
So where in this case did they cross the line?
What's the right way?
In my view, trying to force their way in, just trying to make a political stunt out of this, really, it goes above and beyond. ICE is all about transparency. You know, today we were there, had a tour of the facility with several media outlets. We want people to see what we're doing. But when you go ahead and you try to storm your way in, when you try to just bring cameras, bully my officers and agents, that's just not the right way to do it. Let's work together. Let's have that oversight, but let's do it in a professional manner, not a political stunt.
So what he just said didn't make any sense. We want the media in, but we don't want you to storm in with the cameras. It doesn't matter whether they're being rude about it or not. It's federal law. They have the right to go there and film and show what's going on in the facilities. Why don't you want the Democrats to show what's going on in the facilities? That's really strange what he's saying right now, though. If y'all really think about it, just think. I know a lot of you guys are freaking racist and hate immigrants and all kind of stuff like that. But I wish some of y'all would just humble yourselves and think. Why do they not want them to have the cameras in there? He said they value transparency and they have federal jurisdiction to go in there. I'm saying federal jurisdiction. It's the same thing. Federal jurisdiction, damn near the same thing. But they have the right federally to get in there. What's the problem? I'm confused here.
Of Newark, Ross Baraka, he had this to say on MSNBC on Saturday.
We don't know what's going on in there. We don't know who's in there. They don't allow inspections. They're not doing, they're not complying with the local laws. They don't have a certificate of occupancy in our argument. And we were in court arguing these matters. We usually solve those problems in America through the court of law. They don't want to use the court. They want to use a decree. They believe that what they say goes, that we have a kingdom here and not a democracy. And that's the problem.
He's in the middle of a primary election. There's a gubernatorial election in November in New Jersey. So he's running against other Democrats. A lot of people might not know his name, but now a lot of people will after this. He says that all of these things are not being done legally at that facility. What do you say?
You know, we wouldn't have been able to have anyone legally in that facility without the permits. And one thing that I really find strikingly odd in this case is the mayor was...
Wait, what did he just say? Go listen to what he just said, y'all. Y'all gotta catch this shit that they be saying. Listen.
Have anyone legally in that facility without the permits?
Hold on.
At that facility, what do you say?
You know, we wouldn't have been able to have anyone legally in that facility without the permits. And one thing that I really find...
We would have been able to have anyone legally in that facility without the permits. You would have or you wouldn't have anyone in the facility legally without the permit. Maybe he misspoke. I'll give him that. Maybe he misspoke.
Strikingly odd in this case is the mayor was elected in 2014. In 2014, Delaney Hall was open. There were immigration detainees there at that time. At no time under President Obama did he want to go ahead and have a protest. But yet now he makes a political stunt like this. And, you know, he also made the comments he wasn't there to protest, but he'd been there all week. So there's that.
Mm-hmm. So that's from the...
This is bullshit. Like, they keep bringing up everybody else except them. They don't never stay on the point. Them. Because Obama did it through due process. I researched it. You guys said it. They didn't. I went and researched it. He did. He did everything through due process. He did not just deport people just because he could just deport them. He didn't violate anything, any judge's orders, any orders from Congress. He didn't any legislation from Congress. He didn't violate anything. He followed the law and pushed federally to add a nation of laws. But he also added ways for people to get into the country. Like, for example, during the Syrian refugee crisis, he was trying to bring more Syrians in. We only had a couple thousand. Like the Syrian refugee crisis, the many crises that happened all around the world. I mean, even there was a point where he was trying to help Haiti. You know, some people from Haiti migrate into the U.S. And, but at the same time, we're a nation of laws, so he was pushing those laws. Quit bringing up Obama. Like, quit bringing up Obama. Let's talk about Trump. He's not wrong to deport. He's not wrong to follow the law, but you have to follow the law. Like, and it seems like he's going against the law. Seems like he's like, well, we're executive side, so we don't have to execute anything that's not being told to do, that we're being told to do. And that's a problem, man. Quit talking about Obama. Obama did things the right way. Trump needs to do it the same way.
Mayor, here's from AOC on camera 2. Watch.
If anyone's breaking the law in this situation, It's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Christie. You lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem.
You can address
Facts.
that comment.
Get him, AOC. Turn up. I like her.
That's the way we rolled it. Also want to know how many people are in this specific facility? What are they accused of?
Right.
Who's there?
So currently at the Delaney Hall facility is 152 detainees. 75% of them are convicted of a crime or pending criminal charges. People that are in there, the crimes that they're accused of are rape, child molestation, fentanyl trafficking, murder, wire fraud. These aren't the people you want in your neighborhoods.
Man, prove this shit. I'm tired of them just talking, man. Show us documentation. Prove what you're talking about. You just say everybody y'all throwing them places or that. I don't believe it. Just statistically don't believe it. Look at a country, guys. Look at a country and look at how much crime actually happens in a country, right? When you look at a country, like you look at a country 99% of the time, right? About 99% of the country follow the law. 99% of the country follow the rules. So, like, it's like 1% of the population that commits crime and gets thrown in prison for crime. 1% of the population. 1% of all classes of the population as well. Even the 13% black people, only like not even 1%. Not even 1% of black people commit crimes. So so you're meaning to tell me that all of these people that we just happen to let in, all just happen to commit all these violent crimes? No, prove it. Show us on paper all these people that are convicted of this stuff. You guys are just making claims at this point. We're tired of it. We want you to prove it.
These are other people that are the worst of the worst, that ICE are out there arresting, putting their lives on the line every day. And to address that comment, under the leadership of Secretary Noem and President Trump, we are out there doing what the American people want, and that is getting these public safety threats off the street so they're not out there to reoffend again.
This morning you were with Rachel Campos Duffy, and you were giving a little bit of a tour. What do you hope to try to show people in terms of the transparency that these members of Congress say they want? So you are providing it.
Right. And, I was really happy to have the opportunity to kind of pull back that curtain and let people see exactly what's going on. ICE detention standards are some of the highest in the business. And when you come and you see what the facility actually looks like, I think the American people will be shocked. We've heard all sorts of things, from inhumane treatment, no food, phones not working, and that's just not the case.
How many more can be taken to this facility in Newark?
So that facility in Newark can hold up to 1,000.
Up to it. Do you expect that to fill up?
I do, especially now that we're having more cooperation with sanctuary jurisdictions. I think one thing for the Northeast, there isn't a lot of brick and mortar jails or detention facilities actually cooperate with ICE. So we have to travel to other parts of the country. It puts my officers and agents more flying time. We're not out there actually doing what we're tasked to do. And it's also bringing these detainees and these aliens away from, their legal teams and their families. So
we got to run, but how long before that facility in particular is filled, do you think?
I think you'll see it in the coming months. I think the more cooperation we're getting with ICE now that local law enforcement is assisting us, I think you'll see that.
Okay, all right, we're going to stay in contact.
Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
His name was Steve Juicy. All right. Well, that was good. I like that conversation, definitely. I want to learn more. I want to see what's happening in the facilities, because I care about the people. I care about Americans too, though. So, if you're doing things illegally, then we got a problem. But if you're doing things the right way, you should be welcome here. Anyways. All right, I'm out. Peace.